Hey everybody, I am so excited today to talk to you about the Neapolitan Sixth chord, which is my favorite chord. You can see I'm even wearing my dedicated Neapolitan Sixth t-shirt for the occasion. So I've got some really low-tech slides I've put together to give you the nitty-gritty, just the basics on what you need to know about the Neapolitan Sixth. So I'm going to bring those up on my screen to share with you. So we are talking about the Neapolitan Sixth chord. N6 is the label. Unlike other chords we've studied, we are not going to be using a Roman numeral for it, but rather a capital N. Isn't that cool? And then I want to tell you about its function. So it is a predominant functioning chord, meaning it can substitute for 4 or 2, but it's chromatic and it's super cool. I think you'll like it. It is a major triad with flat 2, which is Ra, lowered Re, as its root, which is always a half step above tonic. Easy way to find it. In the key of C, it would be a D flat major chord. So if you can find Ra or flat 2 and you can spell a major chord, you can spell any Neapolitan that you want to. Now we do call it not just a Neapolitan, but a Neapolitan Sixth. And because it usually occurs in first inversion, not always, but most of the time, that's why we call it a Neapolitan Sixth. Because it's in first inversion, we're going to be putting scale degree 4 or Fa in the bass. Well, doesn't that make sense? Because it's predominant, so that you would expect it to be a choice then if you had Do, Fa, So, Do in the bass. Remember our harmonic substitution exercises we used to do with Do, Fa, So, Do, and we had to decide what chord happened on Fa. Well, this is one that could actually happen on Fa, and we'll listen to it in a minute. So, again, back to our example in C, we would have F in the bass. Here's an example of the solfege that goes with it and how it would look in root position versus first inversion. And you can see here, Ra would be the bass note, and this is what it would look like in root position, but it would more normally happen as in first inversion with Fa in the bass. And the solfeges are Ra, Fa, and Le. So that's what you'll always have if you spell a major triad with Ra as the root. So this example's in major, but the Neapolitan happens mostly in minor keys. And what you'll notice, I've put in a key signature here, and Ra is the only chromatic note when you're in a minor key, because the fifth of the chord, the Le, is already Le in minor, right? Because scale degree 6 is the lowered form. So that's good to know. And finally, it really sounds amazing. It does. So what I'd like to do is show you what it sounds like, and we'll just switch to a different screen to see some examples. And this comes from the guide I wrote for you. Take a look at example 1. Okay, now this is not with the Neapolitan, this is with the 2 diminished 6, which is one of our old friends, right? How we would have harmonized scale degree 4 up to this point. So this is C minor, okay? And this is example 1 with the 2 diminished 6 when we have Fa in the bass. Sing with me the soprano part, starting on May, Now, let's take a look at example 2, the chromatic progression with the Neapolitan 6. We're now going to have Ra instead of Re in our soprano line. Listen. soprano with me, starting on And that's why the Neapolitan is so freaking cool.